Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Report. I'm Nareg, and this is your Manchester United fan channel. And I'm happy, and I'm excited. 2-2, Manchester United, Liverpool. What a game. That was a fantastic response from Manchester United players. Now, I'm not excited because I'm celebrating a draw. I'm excited because I think the team performed amazingly. I think the team did really well. I think that was the reaction we've been waiting for, and we couldn't have asked for a better game, basically. I think we were magnificent. We played really well. Our mistakes were minimized, and everything that we did, I didn't see any glaring mistakes in the way we played, in the style of play. So I was really happy with the way Manchester United were playing, and a lot of players performed well. Some of them weren't as good as I thought they were going to be, but we'll get into that soon enough. But what a game by Manchester United. Amorim said one thing, and I'm guessing that is why this has happened. He said we've had a few days to train, and it's going to become better. And this is leaps and bounds above what we've done the last few games. We've been just trying to cover over the cracks in the last few games when we were trying to get over the losses, loss after loss. But in this game, it felt like the shackles were freed and that United players could play the way Amorim wants them to play. And so I particularly thought several players performed really well, and we'll get into that. But overall, really good team play, really good defending, strong tackles from Maguire and De Ligt. Unlucky handball. It is a penalty. I cannot say it's not a penalty. His hand shouldn't be anywhere up there. He shouldn't protect his face from a header if that is what he's trying to do. And so I believe that it is a penalty, and I believe that we cannot complain at all about what the referee chose to do. So let's start with the player rating. I'm very excited about this. Something that Bruno Fernandes said in a post interview is, the interviewer asked, why haven't we been playing this way? Why haven't we playing? And he's like, I don't know. This is what we should be doing. And this should be a wake up call for us to perform this way day in and day out. He said, I don't know why we can't perform with the smaller teams, but this is how we need to play from here on out. And this has to be a reminder for every single player that this is the level that we need to be playing in. And that is 100% correct. And he is spot on, Bruno Fernandes, in what he said. And well done to him. He won the player of the match with Sky Sports. I don't believe he was the player of the match. But we'll get on to that soon enough. So, how did Onana perform? He had no mistakes. This is his general gameplay. He had no mistakes. He was coming out of his line in corners. He was punching out balls. He was getting physical, being involved in set pieces. And he had 3 saves, I think. One from Bradley. The Van Dijk one, I'm not going to count it as a save. The one from McAllister early on. And there was another save, I think, that he did. That was straight on to him. So 3 good saves. I would give him a score of 7. So he was above average for me. I would give him a score of 7. I think he played really well. I'm very happy with his performance. This is the level that I expect him to be at game in and day out. So well done to Onana. I think this is the level that I want him to play at. Very happy with his performance, and he kind of was a leader in the way he was behaving, with the way he was saving, with the way he was punching balls out. So well done, Onana. That's all I can say. You need to keep up that level. What about Martinez? I thought Martinez did phenomenally well against Mo Salah. I think that Martinez put Salah in his pocket. I think that Martinez was providing a lot of good passes. And I do think that this is the Martinez that we need in and week out. I thought he was good defensively. He didn't put a foot in wrong. And he was passing the ball really well. He was finding these players over the top, finding Højlund, finding whoever he was later on, Amad Diallo or Bruno Fernandes or Dallo. He was finding players that were making the run. And I do appreciate a good passer in our center backs. And he is the one that has been passing really well from the back and finding the players that are making the runs. So I would actually also give him 7 stars. So I think he performed really well, 7 out of 10. Very decent score, well done for Martinez. And this is something we haven't been seeing, as 7s in our matches. So we're gonna get excited about it. We're gonna be happy with the performance. Harry Maguire, I think Harry Maguire played really well. It's really sad that he didn't score that final chance of the game. We could have won the game. I'm not gonna blame him too much. He's not a striker. The ball was a bit bouncy. Maybe Xerxes should have done better, but I wouldn't put that on Xerxes. Maguire should have done better. He did tremendously well defending. I loved the strong tackles in a game like this against Liverpool. He showed passion, he showed leadership, he showed exactly what Amorim was expecting him to show, and I don't think he's going to lose his spot until the end of the season. So I think he's secured his spot. He might even have secured being vice-captain. I don't know why he wasn't and Martinez was, but I believe that he is in the running to be captain again, or maybe next year, or vice-captain, something like that. But I do think that Maguire played very well, and I would give Martinez a 7.5, and I can give Maguire a 7, definitely. So I do think Martinez was slightly better, and he performed slightly better than Maguire, just because of how much he offered going forward. Next, De Ligt. He was subbed off at, I think, the 83-minute mark. Lenny Yoro came on his behalf. I don't think he put in a foot wrong, and I don't think the substitution was because he wasn't playing well. I do think that he was tired. He was visibly exhausted, and I think it was a substitution based on that. Same camp as Harry Maguire. He played really well. He got a yellow card, and I believe he has 5 yellow cards now, and he should be missing his next game. If that is so, that will be someone we're gonna miss. Obviously, Lenny Yoro will play on his in his place, and Mazraoui could also play there if needed. But we won't have any good subs on the bench. So he did play well defensively. He was pretty solid. He did all he had to do. The chance that McAllister created was not on any of the defenders. It was actually a runner from midfield who Ugarte or Mane should have picked up. And so that chance that Mo Salah created for McAllister wasn't on any of the center backs, but it was on one of the midfielders. I still haven't seen the replay long enough to decide whose fault that was. The goal that was scored by Cody Gakpo, he slid in for a tackle, and that is what you need to do. At that moment, you're thinking he's either going to shoot or he's going to pass with his left foot. He had to do what he did, and somebody else should have come faster in to cover the shot. And Ugarte tried that and couldn't get it in time. So I don't blame De Ligt for that. I'll still give him a 7 as well. And I do believe that he and Maguire played equally well in the defense. Diogo Dalot. What can we say about Diogo Dalot? He was a changed player this game. He did all he had to do defensively. I think he had moments on defense where he had to be a bit faster coming back, but bombarding forward as much as he did this game, which I haven't seen done in the past few games, was something to be glad at. He went forward often, he overlapped players, providing option, he crossed the ball many times, and that is all you can ask from a left back. And so I think he particularly played really well. The cross to Amad Diallo's head was perfect, the run was perfect, and he needs to do that more often, and I think he's capable. And initially I thought he didn't have a good left foot, but he has a good left foot, and he needs to keep crossing the balls in with his left foot as much as possible. And he needs to keep making those runs that he was making. So Well done, Diego Dallo. Also giving him a 7. Same level as... No, actually, I'm going to give him a 7.5, but for now, my visuals only show full stars, so I'll try to sort that out. Maybe I'll get a half star going on there. But 7.5 for Diego Dallo, in contention with man of the match. We'll see if he is the man of the match or not quite. So, Diego Dallo, 7. Well done to him. Mazraoui. Mazraoui was decent, and that's all I can say. I think Mazraoui was average. Defensively, he was average. Going forward, I think in the last 15 minutes, last 10 minutes was better than the rest of the game. I think he was a bit afraid of going forward for some reason, but he was average. He didn't perform particularly well. He didn't put a foot wrong. I think he did what he needed to do, and so I'm going to give him an average 6. I don't think he was the worst out of the 5 defenders, but he wasn't terrible. So I'm not going to give him a lower score than he deserves. I think he deserves a 6, and that's the score that I'm giving him. Right, let's come to Ugarte. I think this player has been the player we've been waiting for a long time. We never had a defensive midfield player like him for a very long time, and I think that when you watch him play, when you watch him position himself, when you watch him anticipate plays that Liverpool are making, when you see him read the play that Liverpool is trying to make and put himself in a position to be efficient and to be good defensively, I think Ugarte today was man of the match for me. And I think he was an 8 out of 10. And he is someone that we're going to rely on going forward. And I think that without him this game, it would have been much worse. He does things so subtly that you don't see his efforts. And what you don't see is, if he wasn't there today, they would have created tons of more chances. And I think he broke up play in the right places. He was positioned in the right place at the right time to break out those plays and to prevent for those key passes going forward. And you probably think Liverpool didn't play well, and that has something to do with Ugarte and how he's positioning himself on the field. So 8 and man of the match for me. I think Ugarte deserves it. I think he's the man of the match, and I think he needs all the praise that United fans can give. Kobbie Mainoo, a bit invisible. He was average. He was slightly below average at times. He had good moments, he had bad moments. His bad moments where he was misplacing a lot of his short passes, and that is something that needs to change. In the first half, I think he misplaced 5 short passes and needlessly misplacing those short passes. So I think he needs to be doing better in that area. He's still really good with the ball at his feet, dribbling out, finding positions to be in. But as someone who's playing central midfield, you can't be misplacing passes that much. And so, for the sake of being fair, I probably would have given him 5.5. So I'm going to give him a 6 because we played really well as a team, and I don't want to put anyone down. I think he was average, slightly below average. I don't think I noticed him that much. That's how I would put it. And when I did notice him, it wasn't for good reasons. So 6, but we still need him. He's a great player, 19 years of age, and he has a great future, and we need to keep relying on him. Right, Amad Diallo. I was ranting about Amad Diallo. I think for 85 minutes or until he scored, he wasn't playing well. Let's be honest. He scored in the 79th minute. He wasn't playing well. We need to be honest with that. I don't think he was playing well. I don't think that is his best position. I think playing as a right back was his best position. And going forward, he wasn't offering much. If I'm being fair, I think he is a 6.5, but because he scored the equalizing goal, I'm just going to give him a 7. So I think he is a 6. He is a 6.5. I'm struggling to... I might even have said he's a 6, but I think I'm going to give him a 6.5, and I'm going to do a 7 for now. Just round everyone up until I fix the stars and be able to give people a 6. So he deserves a 6.5 for the goal. He made the correct run. He was positioned in the right place. He was at the right time, and he still needed to score, so he did that. He missed that chance awfully in the first half. The cross that came in from Dalot, he should have done much better, but he's not a out-and-out striker. He doesn't know how to position himself for a header, and so he couldn't score from that position. So 6.5 for me. Bruno Fernandes received the man of the match in Sky Sports. I don't believe he was the man of the match. I think he played well. He was frustrating at times when he was choosing the wrong person to pass the ball to. So several times he could have passed the easy ball and he chose to pass the wrong ball and was dispossessed, and Liverpool picked up the ball from there. And so Bruno Fernandes played well. That Dalot pass was really good. He was all over the place and he was fighting. And I think he is a solid 7. I don't think he's a man of the match kind of player. He wasn't a man of match player this game, but he was a solid 7. And I think he was a much needed return back in the midfield. And even when he played as a midfielder, not as an attacking midfielder, I think he did extremely well. I remember that dribble that he did in a tight situation. That was beautiful, and then he earned a yellow card. He made Trent get a yellow card as well from the way he dribbled past him. So, very well done. I think he deserves a 7. Højlund. What can we give Højlund? He had one really good chance in the first half that he probably should have done better. He was fighting against Konate and Van Dijk, arguably the best centre-back pairing in the Premier League. He was making the runs that he's supposed to make. His work rate was really high. I don't believe any of the things that happened is his fault, except the chance that he didn't make. And so I would give him an above average score. Now, I don't know if that's a 6.5 or a 7. I think I would say 6.5, but for the sake of the stars, I'm going to give it a 7 because I can't do half stars yet. So I believe that he earned himself a 7 this game, Højlund. Not because he was amazing in front of the goal, but he made all the right runs. He fought against 2 strong center backs, and a lot of times he won those duels. And that's what we can ask in a game like this when we're not creating those chances for our center forward, and he's still performing well despite that. So well done for Højlund, 6.5 for me. Garnacho came on I think around the halfway mark. I think around 63 minutes. He got an assist. I was speaking about Garnacho last week during the Newcastle game. I was saying he wasn't particularly performing well when he got the ball. He wasn't taking players on. He wasn't trying to cross the ball. He was always passing back. Today, he took players on multiple times, and from one of those came an assist. So he didn't particularly play amazing, and he was frustrated at Maguire not scoring because he was right behind him. I don't think he yelled at Maguire to leave the ball to him, but he just raised his hands up in the air when Maguire missed the goal. And so maybe he should have shouted more that he's behind him and he should have left the ball for him. I would give him a 6.5, a much better performance than last game. So again, because I can't do 6.5, I'm going to put a 7-star for Garnacho. But I think coming from a 4 last game into a 6.5 is a great performance. Not a great performance, it's a good performance by him. And you can see that the coach is relying on him more and more, and he's going to have to earn his minutes because he was in the same place as Rashford, and he has done well to bring himself back and earn some minutes in United in the squad again. So well done. Lenny Yaro, what an unbelievable tackle in the final chances of the game. What an unbelievable tackle. As a 19-year-old, to do a tackle like that could probably result in a penalty if he was half an inch off, was an unbelievable decision by him. He reminds me of Aaron Wan-Bissaka when it comes to defending. At just having a bit more than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but he felt like Spider-Man to me with that tackle. The way he has long legs and he reached and he cleared that ball. Even though I think he played for 7 minutes. I'm gonna give him a 7. Like, I don't think I can give him any less than that. That tackle was amazing. That was the highlight defensively of the game. That was a perfectly timed tackle. One that under pressure you might get it wrong, and he didn't. So I think that he deserves a solid 7, and that we've signed a superstar in this player if he continues defending like that. It is early days. I don't want to hype him up too much, but I think that he performed really, really well, and he deserves a solid 7. Xerxes, he came on. He almost got an assist. He did what he needed to do. He didn't come on for too long, I think for 6 minutes. He got himself in a good position. He made a good run, and he almost got an assist. So a bit above average. I'm going to give him a 6.5, but because I can't do that, he earned himself 7 stars. So well done to Xerxes. Well done for doing whatever he needs to do in that position in a very tough game. He's not physically strong, and it's not his position to play as a center forward, having players behind him like Van Dijk and Konate. But he did well. That's all we can ask. And he almost got an assist, so I'm going to give him a 6.5. Amorim. What can we give Amorim? If the team list, the team that we started with was very much expected. I think that's the best team that we have currently. It is a bit too defensive, but we're playing at Anfield, so we expected it to be a defensive structure. So we had a lot of defensive players. We did have attacking players, but with Mazraoui and Delo and Ugarte, it seemed like we wanted to hold them back a bit until we received opportunities to create some chances. So very good team selection. Very good subs with Garnacho coming off for Mainu. I don't think Mainu was particularly well, and he noticed that, and he put Bruno in the middle. So good decision making there. The lid for Lenny Yaro, with Lenny Yaro having an amazing tackle. So all his subs were on point. All his subs changed the game to some extent. And I think that tactically, he was on point today. The way the team was set up, the way the team performed has to do with how he's trained the team. And I think he deserves a 7.5 this game. And that means, because we don't have half stars, he deserves 8 stars. But 7.5 for Amorim. And I think that Ugarte was our man of the match. Well done to the whole team. Well done to United. It's been a while since we felt this way. Felt like we deserved the result that we got against the #1 team in the league, and one of the toughest places to go to away from home. One of the toughest crowds to be playing in. Well done to all the United players who performed really, really well. I'm very happy and excited moving forward. If this is the level that we want to perform at, then I think we have good days coming ahead. So thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and join me on the next video, which is going to be the next press conference. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Next game up, I think, is Arsenal, so we'll be doing a watch along with that as well. Have a good evening, and we'll see you later. Bye.